Why is it that we're still struggling in some areas to convince people to put out or spend more time on the quality of their ads? Because, as you said, it's almost the number one most measurable thing.
Yeah, it is.
Why are people still putting out copy and paste job descriptions when it's free? It's free to change it.
Sure. Firstly, I think logistically, it's not feasible for any recruiter, be they in-house or agency, to produce a really good ad for every job they work on. But I think they can produce a more effective ad for every job that they work on. So a lot will cut and paste a JD, or will rely very heavily on the JD when constructing their ad, because obviously if they're an agency, they're trying to depersonalize it as anonymize it, as much as possible. So I think there's a number of things at play. I think that it can be incredibly busy. They don't know any better. They've been told to do it that way. So it becomes a function of admin rather than a function of marketing, which to me is a tragedy, really. If marketing ever finds its way in admin, you know you're in trouble, really. But I think it's just become a little bit baked in. And here's my theory. I think when job boards started to really take root, which was, you'll know this better than me, but I'm guessing around the mid-2000s, when they started becoming the de facto way of advertising jobs, early 2000s probably.
Actually, I think probably a bit later than that, I think. But yeah, we're in that decade, aren't we? It's
okay. So I think what happened then is because I think everyone already had email. Now people could find jobs really quickly, which is a massive time saver. They could react to them straight away and send their CV instantly. And I think for a few years, that was incredibly popular. And I think advertising worked really, really well back in those days, even though the ads were no different to the ads now. They were still rubbish, but people didn't mind because they were still getting accustomed to the novelty factor. And, they would join the dots up themselves and try,
because at that point we were used to
just to finish off, it just got passed down as this is what we do. It seems to work. And because the climate or the environment has changed ever so incrementally over the last 15, 20 years, I haven't really noticed. So I just think it's become habit forming.